Hello, my name is Debbie Reynolds. They call me the Data Diva. Today I want to talk about data privacy and digital identity in the US. So, in the US, because we don't have a national database of identities or identity documents for people, each state has its own bureau that handles identity. So, we move state to state, you have to change your ID. As a result of this, in the US, currently, we have a rollout that's been happening since the early 2020s with Apple and Android to roll out digital IDs in the US. And now, because we don't have a federal system, this is a state by state effort. As of this writing, the number of states that have rolled out digital IDs is about a little less than 20 states that have either rolled it out completely or they are considering or they are preparing to roll out digital IDs. So, a digital ID will be a copy of your actual identity document from your state that you can store on a smartphone. So whether it be Android or Apple phone that you can use for identity. So typically the use case or the way it's mostly being used is if someone goes to the airport. So let's say you go to the airport, you want to board a plane. Instead of, in some cases, instead of showing your physical ID document in a approved state, you can show them your digital smartphone copy of your ID. And that only works if they have the machine there that can read and authenticate your ID document. Not all states accept that. You can't not carry a physical ID, so you still have to have your physical ID, so it's not a replacement for that. Also, especially Apple and Android, they're rolling this out for passports as well. Passports are different because passports are generated by the federal government, but they need your state ID documentation and other information to be able to get you a passport. But even for passports, even if you get it on your device, uh, a lot of jurisdictions still, or even different airports, they may still want you to have a physical passport because the physical passport has security features in it and chips as well that certain machines read. So you wouldn't be able to go to the airport or travel around the world just with a smartphone with your ID on it. I think another reason why it's been slow, in addition to having to go state by state and trying to have to integrate this, not everybody has a smartphone. Not everybody who has a smartphone wants a digital ID. And right now, the use cases are very limited in what you can do. So if you were pulled over by a police officer in a traffic stop, your digital ID on your phone would not suffice. They would want to see your physical ID, and then also in order to be able to use it in the way the smartphone makers would want it to be used for authentication, you would need a machine to read it. And right now, those types of devices are very expensive and they typically are mostly used like at airports and things like that. So the opposite of this, and we're going to see how this rolls out. In Mexico, they're trying to make all IDs digital. So different countries have had varying levels of success in doing this, but I definitely want to see how this pans out in the U.S. The way that Apple, I've seen the way that Apple has done it, and it's a pretty secure process. But again, I think right now the use cases are very limited, and again, it's not a replacement for your real ID and identity documents. But we'll see in the future if there'll be more use cases or more ways that people can use those things. But it's been a slower rollout and a slower adoption than I think a lot of people have thought and anticipated about that in the future. But from an identity perspective, it's an option, but it's not a replacement for your government or state issued identifications. That's it. Thank you.